Alright, dividing rational expressions is only one step more than multiplying. Okay, when you want to divide rational expressions, all you have to do is actually multiply by the reciprocal of the divisor. Okay, and then we just follow the steps for multiplying. The divisor is always what you're dividing by. Okay, so in our first example here, if we have 2x over x plus 1 divided by that quantity here, what we can do is, instead of dividing by that quantity, we will just multiply by its reciprocal. And again, its reciprocal, you just flip the fraction. Okay, now once we have that, it's just a multiplication problem, and we are just going to factor everything. So I have 2x, that doesn't factor, x plus 1 doesn't factor, times this quadratic here, which can factor to x plus 4 and x plus 1 all over 12x. Okay, now here we have these common factors. We have our x plus 1, and because it's multiplication now, we can cross cancel. Okay, we have a factor of x here that can cancel, and 2 and 12 will cancel. The 2 will cancel out, leaving me with just a factor of 1 up top. And if I divide out a factor of 2 from the 12, we'll be left with a factor of 6. So after all this carnage here, what we're left with is really just an x plus 4 over 6. And again, it's important to realize that we cannot, in this problem, cancel anything else out. 4 is a term. It's not a factor. Okay? And if we want to make a quick note here, again, x could not equal, if you go back to the multiplication problem here, -1 or 0. Okay? Alright, let's look at this monster down here a little ways. Okay. We're going to need to multiply this by the reciprocal, and we're going to need to factor it. So I'm going to go ahead and start off and just go ahead and factor beginning x plus 3, x minus 3, and we're going to factor out an x, and that will leave us with a quadratic that could be factored to x plus 3, x plus 1. Going to multiply by the reciprocal, and I'm going to go ahead and factor it. It would be x minus 1 times x minus 1. That would be the bottom. That would be this here factored, because it's going to go up top. And what's up top here, right here, is going to go to the bottom. So if I factored out an x, I would be left with a quadratic that could be factored by x plus, or factored to x plus 1 and x minus 3. Okay? So now we have this big mess. Let's start looking at common factors here. I have an x plus 3 and an x plus 3 and an x minus 3 and an x minus 3. And if you look, there's nothing else really that can factor. There's nothing else that's on the bottom that's on the top. So I can bring these together, and I'm really left with x minus 1 quantity squared over x squared times x plus 1 quantity squared. And if you were asked to multiply that out, that would be x squared minus 2x plus 1 over x to the 4th plus 2x cubed plus x squared. We would want to make a note here from our multiplication problem right here. If we look, x in this case could not equal, let's see, -1, 0, and plus or minus 3. Okay? But that would be your final answer.